Mark,
Hey, Paul.
what's going on?
Dude, I'm just super happy. I have read my absolute favorite issue of Absolute Superman this week.
Really? That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
gotta say, for me, it was my favorite so far.
Yeah. And we got not one, not two, three, three first appearances in the Absolute Universe. We'll discuss them all right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you leave us a comment, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. We appreciate everyone, and we read every comment, and we reply to every comment as well. So, but yeah, Absolute Superman number 18. So now we're a year and a half in to the Absolute Superman story, and a new story arc starts here. In
It
case you
sure
don't know,
does. Starts with a bang.
it does. We start off in Kondak,
You
many
know,
years ago.
you know when it starts off though, Paul. They don't
Then
tell you, but it's way back then.
exactly. It's actually 3,000 years ago. They do tell you, actually.
They do specifically.
They
Now that
do.
I look at it,
Yeah. And we see young Teth Adam with his dad. His dad's getting bullied um, by the Egyptians. Um, Teth Adam is watching his dad get bullied by and beat up by the Egyptians. And basically, he tells them, you need to stop that.
yeah, we actually gives you some context to like
Mhm.
he's a slave back in Egypt in a time when his mother died of starvation. His father was burned alive as a leper. His brothers and sisters had bloodworms, so they were fed to crocodiles. This is the savagery that he lived through, and he's kept seeing more injustice. And he tried to stand up for somebody, and it backfired.
hmm Exactly. And so then we see the villagers kind of sitting around, and appearing amongst them is the Phantom Stranger. Now, the Phantom Stranger is a female. Is she Raven? Do you think?
So when I saw the first shot of the Phantom Stranger, who appears and they say, "What is this phantom?" and she identifies herself as a stranger. When they show her, I thought Raven immediately, but when I stop and look at it, it definitely just looks like it could be a female Phantom Stranger. The big, like the big circles that holds his little tassel and everything is
Right.
there.
She
But
had them too. She had wings that had little raven heads on
did
them too. So that's why I can see where people might have thought that.
well, one thing we can't see is her forehead, right?
Right.
So
Right.
we don't really get a shot of her forehead, but she's self-identifying as the Phantom Stranger, basically, which super cool. We're a couple Phantom Stranger fans around here. Like, we're introducing some large-scale cosmic forces now doing this, and what does that mean for the bigger absolute world? Because you got to remember, this is all just a world created by Darkseid, yet the cosmic, the quintessent are
hmm
here.
Right.
Like, can
Exactly.
it all be here? Why would Darkseid even let that be? Why would he invent that? That's got to backfire down the road.
Right. So my thought is it could be. I don't know whether it's Raven or not. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe that's I mean, we don't really. We had that story that had basically four or five different origins for the Phantom Stranger. We don't really know
We
who he
don't
was.
know.
You
Yeah,
know, so maybe we don't need. We're not meant to know whether this is Raven or not. If they ever do an Absolute Teen Titans and Raven, maybe Raven is in it as the Phantom Stranger. Maybe
yeah,
that's who she is. So who knows? Um, but she does some fortune telling about things that are coming in the future for these people.
yeah. He says that the world that is to come, there will be a man unlike any other, with eyes of fire and strength beyond imagining, imbued with the power of the sky itself. He will walk among clouds as freely as he does the lowest among you. He will wear the dust of his home upon his back. And when he comes, mark my words, a new world shall rise with him, an age of wonders undreamt of, an age of heroes. And young Teth Adams, sitting here wounded from his last beating from the guards, hears these words, motivated by them to manifest this reality, not to wait on this person, but to sneak out of the encampment away from the guards and go search for a power that he can become this manifestation of this hero, this uprising, to put a stop to this horrible world that he lives in. So he sneaks out and just walks out into the desert where the guards don't care whether you go out there. You just walk out there and you'll die. You're fine, whatever.
Right.
And he go ahead.
And he gets a little bit of help.
He does. He's out there cursing the worlds. He's like gods in the sun, gods in the moon, the storm. That there's an ancient wizard who lives in the desert and grants wishes, but where is he? And obviously, like, that sounds funny, but they're the jinns, like over there, like that's what the jinns are. And he's out there and he's screaming. He's basically cursing the sky, like challenging the gods. If you're real, show yourself to me. And about that time, something in the sandstorm lights up, big lights in the sky. And I'm like, oh snap, we're about to get the wizard. And I turn the page, and it's a freaking Brainiac ship.
Brainiac.
Like, what a great concept, you know,
Exactly.
like what is magic except science that is not understood yet? So when these people 3,000 years ago would see something like this, they would think it's the jinn, the genies of the desert, but it's really just Brainiacs out there and getting a little bit of alone time away from people where it's more isolated, conducting experiments on unsuspecting people. But he cries out, take me, take me. And they draw him up into the ship, and he's sitting there, and these different Brainiacs are talking amongst themselves about all these other little things that they've done and experimented before. And now we don't, this sample ain't worth our time kind of thing. Like, well, wait, before we throw out this trash, why don't we test this thing we're still not sure of? They have a father box.
Right.
They have a father box, which we know are in the Superman stuff. And they're still no one knows how they work or anything, this apocalyptic technology. So they take the father box and they don't show us specifically what they do to him, but they say, what is it? Come, boy, your wish shall be granted after all. And all you need to do is say the magic word. And the magic word is, he's screaming in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the origin of King Shazam, a.k.a. Black Adam. So I guess he's not called Black Adam. This 10th Adam is called King Shazam. He's imbued with the power of a father box, which is potentially limitless, and we don't know yet. And we'll see what it looks like.
So what word do you think he has to say?
I'm guessing Shazam, and I don't know why. Well, he's called King Shazam.
Yeah.
But that would be cool if it's Darkseid, wouldn't it? Because no one's acknowledged Darkseid in this world yet, except for the Legionnaires. That's it.
So we flash to now. Clark is on a farm. He has basically, if you recall, in the last, he has the parasite as a pet, basically.
He's out here looks maxing.
Yeah.
Who farms in this outfit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, he's got the parasite. Clark's a good guy. He knew that it wasn't trying to hurt anyone. It was just being manipulated, used as a weapon. So it looks like he's got a pet parasite.
We then get Jimmy talking to Clark. Clark is they're talking about the fact that where they are, and Clark says to Jimmy, is Lois working there too? And she's like, you didn't know, she never showed up for her interview. And so that's when he knows that she's off doing no good, and she's skulking around a condemned building looking for Talia and Ra's al Ghul.
So she's on a one-woman mission to exact revenge for the death of her father in the Battle of Kansas a few issues ago. Clark's trying to talk her down, like, you can't do this. This ain't you. She's like, dude, this has to be done. Someone has to stop her. It's going to be me. She has to pay for what she did. Meanwhile, Talia last issue broke her father out of jail. Her father, who kind of had a come to Jesus meeting with Superman, basically. He's off the Lazarus. He saw like the humanity in Clark, and it kind of changed him. He doesn't have a will to die, but he has no will of conquest. He has no will to go on as he did for all these years. He kind of had an epiphany. Talia can't understand this. She's like, dude, we just have to get you rejuvenated and you'll get your wits back to you. This is embarrassing. I'm not the daughter of the demon. I am the demon. You're just a sad sack of crap who ain't worthy of nothing. So they're going back to his old facility. Like, all the Lazarus pits have been taken and shut down, but there's still one left in this facility where we have all kinds of stuff hidden away. And she's like, we got you here. Just hop in, turn it on. You'll be fine. He's like, sure. and then he just destroys it in front of her, pissing her off. She hits him. She's got him at blade point. Like, I don't know who you were, but this ain't going to work. And it looks like she's about to take out her own father when they're interrupted
by Lois, who has found them. And so she has a gun pointed at both Raz and Talia, mostly Talia, because Talia actually has her weapon pointed at Raz Al Ghul. And they basically, are just about to throw down between the two of them when who comes bursting through the wall, but Superman.
Beautiful page splash.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, put down the weapons. You can't do this. Enough violence. This is getting crazy. We'll figure this out. Everybody stop. And at first he's like, Roz, I thought you were better. Roz like, hey, it ain't me. It ain't me. I don't want to be here either. And about this time, the sirens and the alarms in this facility start going off. And we're all like, huh? So we cut to all the peacemakers, the guards up at the top level. And about that time, a figure comes out of the shadows. Not just any figure, a figure wearing a similar looking, in my opinion, containment suit that's reminiscent of not just the Superman and Lois show in season 2, but also Man of Steel number 18. It looks very similar to me, like it's meant to be an homage to the Doomsday containment. That, you know what I mean? It's got the little eye window, but we see this character here walking out holding a hammer. They all shoot at him, and the hammer has this magnetic effect that stops all the bullets. And then this guy with his hammer starts just making short work of these peacekeepers, dude. It's crazy. Just takes out all the peacemakers. It's Steel. It's absolute Steel in his big intro into the Absolute Comics. We don't know if it's John Henry Iron. We don't know nothing about him because he kind of comes in. He does acknowledge that he built the hammer when he's trash talking the guards, but
right, and he wipes out the peacemakers that are there, so they don't really stand a chance. And then we flash back to Lois and Raz, and Talia and Clark, and that's where Steel is making his way. He's going there as well.
And so Talia had a trick up her sleeve too, the little father box, right?
Exactly. And so Steel shows up there. Clark tells everybody to run. They start doing a little bit of a throwdown, but before anything else can happen, the father box starts to spark again, and suddenly what they didn't realize, when it's mentioned a little bit earlier, is that this also, besides having the Lazarus pit, also has some other artifacts in it as well. And it also happens to have what I can only guess is a sarcophagus of someone who happens to have a father box that gets activated. And so in the middle of their big fight, suddenly appears someone who looks a lot like, in the suit, to me, looks a lot like Clark's suit.
So Roz says it like right during the fight when all the banging's happening. He says, Talia, you have to stop this. This fight cannot happen here. Remember what else is stored here. Right. Who else? We must not allow him to. And about that time, the father box is crackling off. The symbol on the containment lights up, and it's the lightning bolt. The explosion happens, and then we get the coolest looking shot of the whole book, where we get King Shazam, aka Teth Adam, and he is absolutely rocking the same look as Superman, which I absolutely love. The gauntlets, the boots, the texture to it. The cape with the dust of his homeworld. I was wondering, like, dude, they're just describing Superman, but yet we need more answers. Like, this is amazing. We talked about this, Paul, when the Black Adam movie came out. When some of the people were like, why is Black Adam and Superman being aimed at each other? Why isn't it Shazam or whatever? Dude, Black Adam is a better villain for Superman. Like, he just is, because the man he's someone that can fisticuff Superman. Like, Captain Marvel and Black Adam is like, oh, yeah, who's your bad guy? Me, but he wears a different color suit. Well, cool. But there's more. I love that they've introduced him in this. I love that we got the backstory, the twist on it, the Brainiac angle. They rolled Steel in here. There's so much that just went down in this book. It is bananas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, for some of the things that we've read besides this, some of the things that are coming up in some of the other titles too, the Absolute Universe is definitely not slowing down.
No, it just hit the NOS button
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Exactly.
I'm super excited. My dude, when I was reading this, and we got that page splash of Superman, and even looking at, is that a Middleton cover behind you?
Behind me.
Yeah, on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Ben Oliver.
Ben Oliver. Even looking at that, it's and then seeing that Black Adam page, it's like, dude, there's no way McFarlane can get a wave of absolute figures out before he loses the license, I bet.
Yeah.
But I wish to God like he would have gotten a wave of the absolute figures out, just like
Mm,
maybe like if that's his swan song or something, like he needs to get the absolute figures out so bad.
absolutely. Yeah, I would agree. Um, because we haven't, I mean, I know they're probably trying to work us in slowly, but I haven't been overwhelmed with what we've seen so far from
With
the new figure
Mattel.
from Mattel.
Mattel looks like we're going back to like, I'm not saying this to be mean, it's just it is what it looks like. We went back to like 2002.
Right.
Looks corny. Maybe they'll do like a generic kind of thing for like the like actual toys they expect. McFarlane makes toys that kids can buy and play with if you want, but they're geared for collectors. He's making adult collectibles. That's what he's
Right.
doing. Like
Right.
Spin Master makes the DC toys for the kids. Like
Right.
there's there's plenty of DC toys for all ages, including adults to collect. That's
Mhm.
what McFarlane makes. Mattel got the license from McFarlane, so you should be making those same things, not just flooding the market with kids' toys. Like that Batmobile they showed us was just
Right.
offensive. Like
Exactly.
what? What?
Yeah. But definitely sets up this issue definitely sets up a huge, battle for the next issue apparently.
Oh my
Between
gosh.
Shazam and Superman. So really looking forward to that. Next week we have Absolute Green Lantern. Latest issue of that is coming out next week, so we'll talk about that next week. But don't forget to make sure that you hit the like button while you're here. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. We reply to all of them, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content.
Yeah.
But that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. As always, I am Paul. Yes.
Don't forget, this is a Guess That Key week.
Yes.
Wednesday night, 9 p.m. right here, live stream. Massive giveaway, foils, ratios, 1 in 100 ratio foils. Right here. Come guess some keys, hang out, have some fun, win some books.
Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Don't forget. But that's going to be it. As always, I am Paul. He is Mark.
We are Legion.
And you're now leaving sector 2815.